How to rank in Bing search engine to help manipulate getting cited in ChatGPT. Today I'm joined with Charles Floate, and there's a lot of people asking that. Normally, obviously, people are always wanting to rank in Google, but a lot of business owners now are wanting to get cited in ChatGPT. And a lot of people are asking how to specifically rank better in Bing search. So how do you do it?
So Bing, number one, let's talk about link profile first. Root authority and link profile, toxic links, all of that kind of stuff is treated very differently from Bing to Google. And to be fair, Google are significantly better at analyzing links, seeing if spam links are toxic, seeing if links should count or not to root authority, etc., than Bing is. And you can get away with a lot higher levels of spam that would normally tank sites for Google inside Bing. With that being said, you still don't want to be sending 1 million GSA links to your site. That's still going to tank it in Bing. But you can be using aggressive PBNs. They don't have like the same link graph kind of association and consensus that Google has. So you can use a lot more powerful PBN links and things that you'd be able to use that you wouldn't be able to use in Google as well as effectively as you can in Bing. And generally, root authority isn't treated as strongly as it is in Google. So whilst links are, you can build more volume of potentially spammy links in Bing, they don't mean as much from a root authority standpoint as they do in Google. The content level, Bing tends to be a lot more linear with their content. So they're looking for pages that are exact matches to that query and that cover the exact query intent that they're looking for from Bing. Whereas Google will be a bit more dynamic, a bit more open, and they'll maybe let 2 blog posts, 2 e-commerce roundups, 2 forum posts, a Reddit guide each video. Bing will be a lot more linear and just have very similar pieces of content ranking. You won't have such a dynamic kind of setup as you will in Google.
Yeah, I feel for me, the biggest difference is query augmentation. So once Google starts to trust you, they'll start to rank that same page for so many more keywords and expand it for so many more keywords, where Bing seem to be very much, here's a query, right, for that query. EMDs are working brilliantly in Bing. A lot, I mean, they're working in Google as well, but they're working great in Bing. And the amount of people actually that recently have been hit badly with regards to in Google search, but actually absolutely crushing it still in Bing. And a lot of it's to do with unnatural links penalties and stuff like that. I mean, the amount of people that I know that used to submit, let's say, disavows within Google, no one ever used to do it within Webmaster Tools, within Bing. So they was able to gather that data and collect that data of what a toxic link looks like and stuff like that. And yeah, I completely agree. I think exact match being very linear with regards to the content, going after exact match kind of queries in the title and throughout the article, and then hitting it with, I'd say, a lot more exact match anchors and stuff like that. But you spoke about, and it's been absolutely brilliant for getting more citations within ChatGPT, about looking at within PressWiz, that if someone comes to you and they was to say, I want more citations in ChatGPT, how you're reverse engineering the sources that ChatGPT is using. For the listeners here, can you expand on that a little bit more of what you're doing to literally look at the sources that Google might not be using, but Bing are using?
Yeah, so we will get our initial query. We'll do the query fan out. And bear in mind, we don't use, Ahrefs or some random AI input and output for the query fan out. We're normally using ChatGPT's query fan out. So if you put in best CRM tools, ChatGPT will go and do 16 different grounded queries, and we're extracting all of those. And then we'll take that, put that into ChatGPT. It'll do another 16 grounded queries, and we'll extract all of those, right? And we'll just keep on doing that as big as we can until we have a massive data set. From those queries, you end up maybe getting 10 to 25 sources in the actual summarized output. So we're trying to look at, from the 10,000 query fan out that we did, and we tracked it twice a day for a week, how many of those sources are co-occurrently showing up between our entire data set. If there's one page that has 1,000 mentions and there's one page that has 2, then we're probably going to be wanting to get on the source that has the highest level of mentions versus the source that has the lowest.
And then obviously from there, then I'm presuming that the ones that's got the highest level of mentions, are you trying to do like a link insert into the existing page that's doing it? So like a link insert and trying to get the brand put in there? Or are you trying to do a new guest post on that source, on that domain, and maybe getting some tier 2 backlinks to the new URL to outrank the other one and push the other one down and replace it with your new article?
It depends on what the publisher will let us get away with.
So
if the publisher will let us edit that page, we'll edit the page, right? Because that will just immediately have effect. But bear in mind that OpenAI, for example, ChatGPT often caches pages. So just so that they don't have to do a constant web retrieval, they will cache certain pages, especially if it's showing up 1,000 times currently. So you have to wait for that cache to update. And normally it's 24 hours, but in some cases it can be longer if it's a very low weighted source. So we will, as much as we can, we'll try and edit that page. But because Bing is a lot better at dealing with cannibalization than Google is, and actually this is a pretty big fact, you can often get a new page to outrank in Bing versus Google for the exact same query, as long as that new page is better. Because Bing doesn't have link inversion, which Google does have.
So with regards to Google, you've spoke about powering up the backlinks and saying that it works great. So it kind of activates that link of the tier 1. How does that work with regards to in Bing? Is it exactly the same? Do you want to be doing tier 2 backlinks for Bing search?
Yes. And in general, you want to have even more. And they don't need to be as good as they do for Google, right? But this is also where, in general, you want to have split projects. So you want to have a project for Google and a project for Bing, because they're going to be two very, very different projects.
And then with regards to viability, people talk about doing viral campaigns, and you're saying that the viral campaign should be done with Chrome browsers, but that's because it's owned by Google. So is there any sort of campaigns that can be being done on Microsoft or anything like that that can be being done to help to rank for Bing better? Do they use user signals or CTR and stuff?
They definitely use SERP, user engagement signals. I don't think they're using Internet Edge browser. Internet Explorer is now called Edge, right, for a few years. I don't think they're using them to the same level as Google has been using Chrome signals, but they're definitely using user engagement signals at a SERP level.
Is there anything else that they're doing differently? Obviously, they've got Bing Places, they've got Google Business Profiles. Is like this Copilot at the top instead of Gemini? Is there anything else that's different in Bing that you would be doing as a strategy? Someone comes along and says, I'm only obsessed by getting more ChatGPT kind of citations, or I'm ranking number 3 in Bing and I want to jump that to number 1. What's your strategy of that? Like, you go in maybe more exact match anchors. Like, what else would it be if they only want to rank higher in Bing?
I would be hitting it with links that Bing specifically likes, and we generally have some decent PBNs that Bing tends to like. Exact match anchors, it still does have anti-spam systems that will deal with anchor text. So if you're just building, 100 exact match PBN links at this wing with no variation, you're still probably going to get hit in Bing just as you would in Google. But you can do 100 PBN links with variation text and you'll still rank very well.
So anyone who's watching this, I hope you like the video of how to rank higher in Bing search. Make sure you check out the link in the description. There's quite a few other videos where I kind of task Charles to go through how to increase visibility in all other large language models like Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, everything like that. So Charles, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.